history, language, culture, mentality. Experts, activists, and concerned citizens' opinions on what it means to be a Belarusian. Identity.
Welcome back. Arseny Anderson is at the mic for you. We continue a series of programs about the Belarusian language. In the last program, we spoke with philologist Hanna Kulej about the history and development of Belarusian. Today we will discuss the sociological aspect of the language, its current state, dynamics, and statistics, as well as the reasons for the current language situation in Belarus. Our guest is the Deputy Director of the Institute of Sociology of the National Academy of Sciences of Belarus, Doctor of Sociology Dmitry Beznyuk.
Identity.
Сегодня официальные языки Беларуси — это белорусский и русский.
Today, the official languages of Belarus are Belarusian and Russian. Is there data on how many people consider Belarusian their mother tongue and how many really use it in everyday life? We can link this question to the census. Are the statistics distorted due to people indicating Belarusian as their mother tongue, perhaps out of patriotism, although they really speak Russian?
Этот нюанс мы с вами никогда не раскроем и не увидим.
We will never reveal this nuance. Speaking of numbers, the latest census showed us that 60% consider Belarusian their mother tongue, but of these 60, only 23% speak Belarusian at home. At the same time, a smaller number consider Russian as a native, but in everyday life, 70% speak it. During the present census, the question again came up: what is the native language? What is mother tongue? Is the learned first case legitimate? Some people think that it is. Some are critical of this statement. I can't make the final diagnosis, although it seems to me that this clause is enough for people to be able to say which language is their native or non-native. Before our conversation, I collected data from various sociological sources with a short time interval. Recent data indicate that about 3% speak Belarusian as mother tongue. These are studies of the Information and Analytical Center for 2018 and data from the National Center for Legal Information for 2015 and MIA research data for the summer of 2018, the latter showing 2.2%, and a study of German linguists and sociologists which was conducted within the framework of the Belarusian State University. Their figure is 4.39%. That is, the fractions are approximately the same. The inaccuracies depend on methodology. But there is one nuance the German studies reflected. What does it mean to speak Belarusian? Is it to speak Belarusian or Trosянka, Belarusian with Russian words or Russian with Belarusian words? They summed up all the numbers and still less than 5% came out. There is one more detail. Recently, I heard a story from Fyodor Povny, who said that he first heard Russian when he came to town. And I have the same situation with Belarusian. I heard it for the first time when I visited countryside. As I understand it now, it was not a literature-type Belarusian, but a classic version of Trosянka. My father is from Ukraine and my mother is Belarusian. And while I lived with them, I learned at least one new word a month. It was a mix of Ukrainian, Polish, Belarusian, German, and Russian. So the question, what is your native language, still requires great clarifying from a philological point of view.
Что можно сказать о динамике белорусского языка?
What can you say about the dynamics of Belarusian? Is the number of people speaking it increasing or decreasing? And what are these changes related to?
Тут опять зависит от методики проведения исследований.
This is a big and deep problem. Knowledge of the dynamics also depends on methodology. If we take our institute's research since 2002, then we can see growth at the indicator my native language is Belarusian, but the indicator I speak Russian is also growing. These opposites get along pretty well. On the other hand, it is necessary to look to what extent these studies are confirmed by ontology and real life. When the census began and it became clear that there was an issue about the language, many Belarusian-speaking figures were puzzled by the fact that Belarusian is being squandered and disappears. Therefore, the urge to speak it. An interesting and timely campaign is the All Belarusian dictation. Of course, if you plunge into this subculture, then Belarusian will appear just this way, disappearing. But if you look at the matter from a different point of view, it turns out that although the quantity of Belarusian is decreasing, its scope is expanding. The number of Belarusian-speaking groups in kindergartens and Belarusian-speaking classes in schools is slowly but continuously growing. Advertising in Belarusian is very common. Studies were conducted in a number of Belarusian publishing houses, and the results are deplorable. In percentage terms, this is just a trifle in relation to the rest of the Russian language information space, a drop in the sea. Even in some studies conducted by the UN or UNESCO, Belarusian is among threatened. Recall the figure of 3%. It seems real enough to me. But still, Belarusian finds its own place, lacunae, if you will. Another thing is to lie in the census for patriotic reasons. As a sociologist, I would like to get pure numbers, real ones. On the other hand, everyone understands that the issue of language is a political issue. Here one can recall the situation in Ukraine. This is a matter of development, future, and soul of the nation. You cannot get away from the political context. That is, by indicating Belarusian as your mother tongue, you can show that you're standing for the preservation and development of the language, and against its ghettoization and transformation into a museum exhibit. One can indicate Belarusian as the native language out of patriotic feelings. But when you ask what language a person speaks at home, a conflict arises, which is clearly visible in numbers. I already drew attention to the study of Kolaks from MIA research. 73% is the proportion of Russian speakers. But when the same people were asked the question if they would like their children to speak Belarusian in the same way as Russian, more than 60% answered yes. That is, they speak Russian at home, but they want their children to speak Belarusian fluently. The answer lies in another study. What is Belarusian? 86% answer, it is the most important part of our culture and must be preserved. Why do they speak Russian even though they want to speak Belarusian? This is an interesting issue. Somewhere on the internet, I came across an article, 50 Reasons Why Belarusians Don't Speak Belarusian. Students were answering. If you read these answers, plus a little more third-party analytics, you can see a problem of the competitiveness of languages. Is it possible to participate in the world discussion on philosophy while speaking Belarusian? Does IT need Belarusian? There are such gaps where Belarusian is initially uncompetitive in the conditions of a globalized world. Why do we need another sign system in the head? In this case, you need to pay attention to these lacunae where Belarusian is needed. This is tourism, literature, art, history, etc. If we walk around our institute, you won't see Belarusian speakers. But if you go to the Institute of History, then there are a lot of people who speak Belarusian. Why? Because they study Belarusian history and culture. Go one floor up, there are our philologists, and they all speak Belarusian. If we want to remain Belarusians, we must have museum and folklore lacunae. If we have historians, philologists, and journalists who speak Belarusian, this will be enough to preserve it. If we go out into the world space and ask who we are, we will look back, see this, and say, this way we are Belarusians. And then we turn forward again and go towards the global space.
Давайте углубимся в тот политический аспект белорусского языка.
Let's delve into the political aspect of the language. The overwhelming majority of our officials, ministry representatives, and MPs speak Russian, not Belarusian. Why do you think this happened?
Если говорить о том, почему чиновники, то я бы, наверное, здесь несколько причин назвал.
I would name a few reasons. First, any activity has its own tradition. We have a Russian-speaking tradition of political top management. This is connected with the Second World War. Compliance with this tradition is one of the elements of this state of affairs. The process of socialization is vital. The second reason is related to the competitiveness of the language. Any official communicating with the population or his subordinates seeks to ensure that they understand him better. It can be assumed that in the countryside the official will communicate in Trasyanka or Belarusian, and in the city, where there is more population, he will use Russian. Some even say that this is a form of respect. But how should we evaluate it? There were different opinions at the 1995 referendum, when the majority of the population voted for bilingualism and chose Belarusian and Russian as the two official languages. The Belarusian-speaking intelligentsia believes that this was a big mistake. This is a matter of politics and individual taste. There are Bolsheviks, there are Mensheviks. Some people are for radical measures, some for evolution.
А лично для вас что такое быть белорусом?
For you personally, what does it mean to be a Belarusian?
По цифрам достаточно четко видна гражданская идентичность.
If you look at the polls that we conducted, the numbers clearly show the formation of civic identity. To be a Belarusian means to live in Belarus, to be a citizen of Belarus, to love Belarus. The latter also requires clarification. For many, it is to know and respect history. If all this is compressed, it will turn out what the academic Babasov called Belarusianness. This is a hard-to-digest composite that defines us and them, I and the other. The late sociologist Bushenko, our former director, had a theory that Belarusians are halfway to self-determination. We are no longer them, but we still don't know who we are. Part of our intelligentsia believes that the Belarusian nation is still being born. Too often have we been hindered in our way of birth, formation, and development. We're always tripping over some great historical events. But most respondents understand that language is an important element that cannot be lost, which is an indicator that we are us.
То есть вы бы в отношении себя так обозначили?
So for you, it's history and language?
Да. История прежде всего.
Yes, foremost history that connects us with tradition and language that reproduces this culture and this tradition.
В каком масштабе и в каком качестве, это, наверное, уже другой разговор. Но язык должен быть.
Identity.
We talked about the sociological aspect of the Belarusian language with Dmitry Beznyuk. Next week, we'll go back to the Listopad Film Festival and talk about national cinema. You can find this interview later on our YouTube channel, Cultural Panorama of Radio Belarus, anywhere, anytime. Arseny Anderson was with you. Same time, next week.
Identity.